Almost 30,000 years before the Battle of Yavin and the rise of the Galactic Empire, the main seat of power in the galaxy was dominated by a species known as the Rakata. The Rakata, as their power grew, reformed into the Infinite Empire. However, the power, scale and dominion of this empire is largely unknown. Historical records and sources contradict each other, with some claiming that the Infinite Empire spanned the entire known galaxy, and others claiming it controlled merely 500 planets. Regardless, from the obliteration of Tatooine, Soa's infernal conquest, the war with the World Razor, and even being responsible for the spread of the Sith, what is known is their impact on the galaxy, and some of their technological terrors that wrought havoc not only in their time, but millennia after their downfall. The Rakata were a vile and cannibalistic species. Unlike the Sith race that came after, their affinity and connection to the dark side was unrivaled, and using the dark side of the Force, the Rakata powered their technology with it. Their ships, weapons, and even their hyperdrives utilised some form of the dark side, and the fear and pain of their slaves were a direct source. Over their home planet of Lehon's star, the Rakata fused technology with the dark side in a way never seen before or after its construction, creating the pinnacle of their technological might. The Starforge. Created by slaves and the Rakata themselves, the Starforge adopted the Rakatans' innate hatred, anger, and rage, feeding off of it, and the machine in a way became semi-sentient, becoming not only a dark side nexus which amplified a dark user's connection to the Force, but also a kind of manifestation of darkness that corrupted the hearts of whoever came near it, forcing their need to kill and destroy to satiate the machine's desires. This effect was so profound that it corrupted further its already savage masters, turning up the Rakatan brutality tenfold, sparking civil wars throughout the Infinite Empire that eventually led towards its collapse. The size of the machine was never truly known, but when seen above Lehon's star, its scale was beyond almost anything of its time, dwarfing the biggest capital ships seen flying alongside it, and while not a weapon in the sense of its destructive capabilities, in a trade-off for its corruption, the Starforge consumed the energy from gases to mass and even the Force, and transformed it into any form of physical matter that the user needed. This technology, arguably the most dangerous to ever exist, was never replicated or understood by anybody except Revan for the betterment of the galaxy, as in the wrong hands the Starforge was used to craft weapons, armors and fleets of ships in excess, capable of turning a single man into the biggest threat. The Starforge was also almost undiscoverable. While relatively hidden away in the unknown regions, if travellers were to stumble upon the machine, they had no way of spreading the word or surviving, as the nearby planet of Lehon had an unbelievably powerful energy field that disabled ships, which would be caught and then yanked in by the planet's gravity field, being obliterated in either the atmosphere or becoming stuck on the beautiful but deadly surface. The Starforge's weaknesses, though, was its exterior defensive capabilities. If somehow the planet's energy field was disabled, it was dependent on its users for external protection through its generation of ships. If it was boarded, however, the Starforge was defended by thousands upon thousands of advanced war droids and turrets that the Forge itself crafted. The star maps that did lead to the Starforge's location were destroyed by the Rakata once the Forge was built, and after the Infinite Empire's downfall, the Starforge simply sat above the star for almost 27,000 years, into the time of the Old Republic. The technology was self-maintaining and self-repairing, and it stayed at full function for the entirety of the time, until two young men took control of it. A young Jedi who would become the Sith Lord known as Darth Revan found one of the formerly destroyed star maps, but the same technology that was used to build the Starforge was also used on the maps, meaning over time they self-repaired. And although the first one Revan found was incomplete, he found more, and connected the map's data together to form a complete route to the system. Revan couldn't escape the energy field of the planet, but dominated the now tribal remnants of the Rakata on Lehon, and managed to shut it down. Then, along with his apprentice Darth Malak, utilised the Starforge to form a fleet and army that not only challenged the Republic, but almost brought it to its knees. Revan stayed away from the Starforge due to its corruption, instead taking a small fragment the size of a fingernail to study, and learned that the machine could create literally anything, perhaps even entire galaxies given enough time. Malak, on the other hand, relished in the Starforge's corruption and learned of a new secret that the machine held. After he destroyed the Jedi Temple on Dantooine, he connected the Jedi's body to the Forge itself, which literally siphoned their energy and left them in a perpetual state of life and death. This energy was then focused into another being, replenishing them completely and killing the subject. But eventually, after Revan's redemption, he disabled the energy field on Lehon and defeated Darth Malak. The combined Republic fleet then destroyed its orbital stabilizers, and the Starforge exploded after falling too close to the star. Intent in ensuring that the knowledge of the Rakata never resurfaced, the Starforge became lost to the history books, and the Republic quarantined the Lehon system. Thousands of years later, by the time of Darth Bane, the planet was no longer quarantined, and debris left in orbit of Lehon from the Starforge had fused together and self-reconstructed into a giant metallic ring that circled the entire planet. But Lehon's true history was hidden, and most people luckily ignored it, allowing the Starforge's technology to remain untouched for the good of the galaxy. I want to wish you all a happy Christmas and happy holidays, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for the next installment of this series on the Dark Reaper. And don't forget to like the video, it supports the channel greatly. Come and join my Discord server, I'd love to have you there, and make sure to follow me on Twitter. Here's to a happier and more productive year, and I'll see you guys in 2019. But until then, may the Force be with you. Always.